You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, we're going to be bringing you some Friday motivation. We are super excited about all things going on in the Brian's Law Maintenance world, cutting grass, making that cash. But you know what, guys? Before you know it, it will be the dog days of summer. Before you know it, after that, it will be the fall. And that means October. That means Equip Expo 2024. It's going to be knocking at our front door before you know it. And today we've got one of my favorite friends to bring on the show. A lot of you guys know him. A lot of you guys have got to meet him over the years at the Equip Expo. But we've got none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the quarterback, the grand poobah. I got to continue to the encore here, Kris. But Kris Kiser, president of OPEI. How you doing this morning, brother?
Brian, I'm good. Hey, I appreciate that setup. That's a hell of an introduction.
Hey, I was going to go for about 3 more minutes, but you were texting me, hey, stop, knock it off. I'm just another one of you guys, But no, I'm just having fun. Hey, I got to tell you guys straight up, if you guys don't know Kris, he is the real deal. He's, in my opinion, he's a VIP. From time to time, we get some great folks from the companies on the show or some folks from the different trade organizations out there. We're from the field, guys. We're cutting grass. We're doing the deal. You guys are all small business owners, just like myself. But man, there is so much when you zoom out and then you zoom out again that go on with the green industry. And it's a very, very special community that we've built. It's a very, very special industry. I know a lot of us are just married to it. We can't shake it. You know what I mean? We eat, sleep, breathe lawn and snow. And Kris Kiser is no different in that regard. And he's one of the guys that, man, I'm telling you what, he is thinking about your business, maybe when you're not thinking about your business. He's advocating for us, his team down there in Louisville, and so much more. So, Kris, like I said, lengthy intro, but you deserve it and so much more. You do a lot for the industry, and a lot of it goes unnoticed. But for anybody who doesn't maybe know your background, I know we're kind of jumping on into it here, but give me the 2-minute, if you don't mind. Who is Mr. Kris Kiser? Who is the OPEI? What is Equip Expo? I know we're going to kind of break some of those things down today.
I think we just wrap it up. That was such a fantastic summation of me. I don't want to blow it.
Right. I got you.
I'm the president of the Outdoor Power Equipment Institute. Its trade show, Equip Exposition, and its education arm, the Turf Mutt Foundation. So, as you know, the show's 41 years young this year, and this is my 18th expo. I've been with OPI for 18 years. Wow. And it's, like you said, I've gotten to know the business. I've gotten to know you all. And it really is family. So these shows for me are a family reunion, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
I love it. So let's do this real quick. For anybody who doesn't know, we know you're just getting into the industry. Maybe you just bought your first zero-turn mower. Maybe you got your truck and you got your vehicle magnets, or maybe you just upgraded in your big time because you got vinyl now right on the truck door. Look, folks, I've been doing this for 17 years. I've been everywhere in between. But, you're just getting started. And then you get into this industry, Kris, and you start finding these YouTube guys. You start finding, some great publications that are out there. You start finding some great podcasts that are out there. And you realize it's more than just you in the truck mowing your 10, 20, 30 lawns a day, lawns a week, whatever it is. You start to realize you're part of something special, and that's the green industry. Kind of zoom out a little bit more for me. Talk to me about the stats and numbers. How big is this thing, and what does OPEI represent, and how do you guys help our businesses get better every single day, even if you guys aren't always in the limelight and you guys are behind the scenes sometimes?
And there are folks who want to help you. They want to help you succeed, and that's what Expo's about. So the OPEI is a trade association. We represent equipment manufacturers, their parts and suppliers. So it's all the names you know. It's all the biggest exhibitors at OPEI. We're already, the show became OPEI's in its entirety, and we began managing the show 2 years ago. Each of those 2 years has been bigger than the year before, and it's the biggest ever. We're already bigger. So this year, we've already surpassed exhibitor sales from last year. So again, wow. if you come to 41, it's the biggest show ever. For exhibit, at some point that benchmark has got to stop. But we're filling up the West Wing now. So we're sold out in the South Wing, North Wing, East Hall, and now looks like we're wrapping up our map in the West Wing. So it's a big physical show, 1 million+ square feet. We have 30 acres outside. The great thing about our show, as you well know, we let you get on the machines. So we got 30 acres outside where exhibitors can let you get on the machine and you can cut, dig, tear to your heart's content. outdoors. So you can stay inside and see them nice and shiny, temperature controlled, or we also want you to get outside. But these folks are here to help you. Folks like you're there in a very meaningful way with sessions and podcasts and all the things you do, helping folks peer to peer. The thing I love about 18 years in, I have met people that started out years ago with a mower and a pickup truck, right?
Right.
And now they have multi-million-dollar businesses. And I've gotten to know several of these folks. And so it's the big players, the beginning players, and the middle players. And so they're all there, and they all want to learn from one another.
Love it. Love it. So for any of you guys who don't know, like Kris saying, it's the Super Bowl. I know you said family reunion, Super Bowl, some of these big analogies. It's hard to really, man, I'm telling you what, folks, I get Kris on here and he's a great communicator. I call him up. I say, Kris, you ready to rock and roll? He says, let's go. We it's like catching up with old friends and kindred spirits. And I get to catch up with Kris a couple times a year. You guys get to catch up with Kris and the OPEI team a couple times a year. Again, if you don't know, folks, this is the Super Bowl trade show and event of the year for the green industry. Like Kris said, everybody is there. I don't want to say it's just what you do, but folks, if you started a real estate career and you wanted to start selling homes and the whole deal, there's national conferences for real estate. There's continuing education courses and tracks for real estate. Or I had a guy on once, Kris, and his family owned a bunch of furniture retail stores. And no joke, they had the National Furniture Conference and Rally, and they did the same thing, the big chants and the big rah-rah and the latest and greatest on the showroom floor. Well, guys, you're in the green industry, right? All the big brands out there, like Kris said, from the mower brands, the handheld type brands, the brick pavers, the suppliers, the nuanced parts manufacturers, and so much more. They're all here. So if you guys want to touch, taste, smell, feel, like this is the place to go. Kris, I want to piggyback on that thought for just a quick second, because you and I get on here, we're just rah-rah, we're pumped up. It's just who we are. It's what we do now. And I'm like I said, I'm trying to slow this down for maybe some of those newer folks or folks that have been in business for just a year or two, and they don't know. So they're getting the lay of the land. They're learning the details. Oh, I got to get a ticket. I got to go get a hotel room. I got to make sure I got plans for Louisville and all that stuff. But let me ask you this, 41 years in a row, how do you guys keep it fresh? How do you guys make it fun? How do you guys keep it new, maybe as well for somebody who has been coming for 5, 10, 15 years straight?
Because we talk to you and folks like you. We want to hear from our attendees. We want to hear from our exhibitors. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? How do we improve the show? How do we improve those peer-to-peer experiences? What kind of education? And we partner. So we don't put on the education. We partners like Landscape Management, the Irrigation Association, and the Outdoor Lighting Association, and the Pool and Spa Association, because landscape contractors in a lot of these businesses. Same thing with hardscape. Now, what we do want to do is, while you're here, don't do this show in a day. You don't do 1.5 million square feet, 1,000 exhibits in a day. So plan accordingly. If you're going to come to Louisville, spend a couple extra dollars, take the time to be here, because while you're here, we have created these events for attendees. So Churchill Downs, our opening reception.
Wow.
We have a happy hour in Freedom Hall. Wednesday on the show floor, exhibitors have a happy 3 to 5. We're going to take that 5 to 7, have a happy hour, let the Crashers play in Freedom Hall. Thursday night, we have a Yum Center Arena concert with Trace Adkins, a big-time concert in a beautiful, beautiful facility downtown. And that's all free. But those are peer-to-peer opportunities where you can socialize, have a hot dog, get a beer, meet with one another, talk with one another. And so it's a week-long experience. And the way to take that in is, frankly, to plan for it. Listen, if you're going to fly, get your plane ticket now. If you're going to come, get your hotel room now. There's plenty of rooms, but if you want to get where you want to be physically in the city, going to be downtown or by the KEC, you have got to do that now. We have 27,000 people come.
That's awesome. It's funny you say that, because literally we had a hour and a half. Normally I get a weekly or bi-weekly meeting with my executive assistant, Bethany. A lot of you guys know Bethany. She's an amazing girl. She's keeping our life together behind the scenes. Amazing girl. Normally we get together once every week, once every 2 weeks. We've been together probably for an hour and a half, webinar and coaching calls and sessions for 3 or 4 different times this week. And one of the conversations for about 30 to 45 minutes was, what are we doing for rooms? When are we flying in? Who's flying where? Where are we going to post up? Where are we going to go hang out? And so much more. So logistically, folks, I know it's May, But I'm telling you, if you snap your fingers, it's August. You snap your fingers again, it's October, and you will literally be walking into Equip Expo. 27,000 folks. Like, don't be the last one to book your hotel. Don't be the last one to get your ticket. And by the way, there's different, I don't say tiers, but there's different cutoffs or checkpoints, right, Kris, for your tickets. So the price does go up. So right now, folks, I don't even know. It's like $12.50 or $15, whatever. It's nominal when you use promo code Brian or use somebody's code, whatever. Just save some money. Get your ticket now. Don't pay $125 at the door, okay? We can't wait to see you there. It is going to be just a fantastic opportunity in time. Kris, one thing I wanted to say is talk about listening to the folks in the field and everybody that's coming. Like, I really do believe you guys mean that, and I have seen that. I mean, some of the improvements that you guys have made in the past were buying out the parking, more restaurants, more food opportunities, expanding certain zones in different parts of the show. I know that's the truth. And that's honestly, I feel like why you guys have one of the best, fastest growing shows in North America. Not just the green industry folks. We're talking about all major conferences and events and expositions on the top, 4 or 5? I mean, where are we at on this thing, Kris? It's growing like crazy.
Exmark mowers were born to deliver legendary reliability, signature cut quality, and stubborn durability that refuses to give in. Because, like you, Exmark mowers were built for this. And there's never been a better time to save big on Exmark mowers. So hurry into your local dealer.
There are some shows that are every 2 years, every 3 years. We're an annual show. We're every year. But we're usually the second, third, or fourth largest show in the country.
Wow.
Again, it's about 1.5 million square feet. It's a big show. I always joke. You got to have comfortable shoes. You got to dress for weather. You've got to dress for the show. Now, we talk about 27,000 people. Those are just industry people. This is not a public show. This is not open to the public.
Right.
So that number are the numbers of landscapers and contractors and suppliers. And it's not just equipment. It's the technology and the software that run the equipment and the latest and greatest in that space. And so whether it's robotics or battery, you name it, they're all in this space. And so it's an opportunity for you to meet with the contractors, the sellers, the distributors, the dealers, what have you, in this space. The dealers are here, the distributors are here, manufacturers are here. And we, like you just said, my job is, and you know my staff, you know them well.
Oh, yeah.
They talk to you all the time. We want to know what the business needs today, this year. And we work with landscape management. They're literally here. They're also going out to the PGA, but they're in the office yesterday, 5 of them. But where you should see the education this year, a lot of it's tailored, a lot of it's changed. We have application, pesticide application stuff this year. And we have Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana that have agreed to accept our classes and certifications.
Wow.
You can come here and get certified, and your state will accept it.
Isn't that crazy? Like, and talk about being a forward-thinking organization. Like, guys, wouldn't you want to plug into that? I know I do. Like, folks, I've been doing this for a couple of years now. I didn't even know Equip Expo was a thing until 6-7 years ago. Until I found it through social media and some of my social media friends. But I'm telling you what, it's just a line item on our budget. It's a date on the calendar that Liz and I just renew. We take our 2022 calendar, we put on 23. We block off that third week typically of October. Like, we're going to Equip Expo. By the way, that's my wife and I's anniversary, October 18th. If you guys want to send gifts or gift us a cruise, hey, we'll take it. I'm not, go what I'm saying, Kris, I'm not too proud to ask, but I'm just saying, we go to Equip Expo. Okay. We say, hey, look, this is our 10-year anniversary for Liz and I. It's a big deal. Like, especially for our backgrounds. We're both crazy and we came from crazy backgrounds. Listen, we're still going to Equip Expo. We're going to do the 10-year honeymoon thing before or after. Okay. But this is what we do. This is our industry. This is we feel just as much of a part of it and helping it to be an amazing event, Kris, as much as you guys are putting it on. And so I just got to say, and just to give a big high five to you, Evan, Karen, Chuck, and you name one, you got to name them all. But so many great people there. We just can't thank you guys enough for listening, being a partner, and just making it the best show ever. Let me ask you this really quick, Kris. What is your guilty pleasure, favorite thing there? What is something that you absolutely look forward to every single year at the show, bar none?
Honestly, gosh, it's hanging out.
Right?
It lets me it is. I just hang out at the show. We shoot some TV there. We get some dogs adopted. We have a national dog adoption event now, which is huge.
Yeah.
OPEI is the 2024 Kentucky Humane Society Hero of the Year. It's an annual big award statewide because of our work to support the local Kentucky Humane Society. We do dog adoptions. You know, I'm a dog nut. We have a 5K, Mulligan 5K, and run and walk. Those proceeds go to the Kentucky Humane Society. So we throw those kinds of things in. We've created a garden center this year. So when you come into the West Wing, we're going to have plant material. It's going to look like a nursery. So we're going to sell stuff. We're going to sell stuff like a garden center would. We're keeping it real, right? We're keeping it current. But I like hanging out. And so I go to the concerts, I hang out, I watch you on stage. You're a pro. Look, get some speaking tips. But
I don't know about that. I saw you peek your head in last time, and I got very professional very quickly. I didn't tell any bad jokes. Then when you popped your head out, I said, all right, the inmates are back in charge of the prison. But anyway, I digress.
There's no place to sit down. I'm an old man. You guys fill the room.
I love it.
So that's what it is for me. It is honestly a family reunion, and I'm a fairly social guy. I've know so many people. And so I have my dog with me. She's walking the halls too, walking the show floor. So it's shaking hands, saying hi to old friends, having a beer here and there.
Yeah.
And just getting together. That's what I like. I'm a fairly social person.
I love it. I love it. Again, guys, if you can tell the excitement's building, the community is there. That's where the community is. And by the way, how many times have you guys heard, and Kris, I'm sure you've heard this before, your net worth is your network, or your network is your net worth. Well, and you guys have heard people say, well, your success in life is going to be predicated on not what you know, but who you know. Now, I'm thinking to myself, hey, if I'm leaving breadcrumbs for the Brian's Law Maintenance and Brian Fullerton 10 to 15, 17 years ago, no wonder I was broke. I didn't know anybody, and I didn't know anything. And folks say, well, how do you start getting to work with some of the brands? How do you get to start building those relationships with some of your dealers or some of the different companies that are out there? And I'll tell you what, folks, like you have to put in some sweat equity and network. Let me rephrase that. You don't have to do anything. But what I've noticed, Kris, that the most successful people do, we're doing these spring shop tours here right now, real time on YouTube and the podcast. And some of these guys, they're part of 4 or 5 different organizations. They're part of 4 or 5 different trade, programs. These guys go out and about. They're not just selling work. They're making friends and they're networking, even with other companies out there, because you know what? Not everybody can get everything done. Sometimes you got to share the workload. And I'm telling you guys, listen, if you don't know anybody and you're like, well, how do I plug into this thing? How do I become one of those guys? How do I get to know all these different great individuals out there? You got to invest. You got to take a week. I know there's cleanups to do. I know there's mowing to do. I know there's fall aerations to do. Here's one thing I've learned in life, folks, especially as I get older and especially as I had kids. There's always work to do. There's always something to do. But you have, what's the old analogy, Kris? If you're on an airplane and the oxygen, starts dropping and the masks fall, they say, put your oxygen mask on first, because if you go to put one on your kid or one on your wife and you pass out, you're not effective for anybody else.
Helpful.
Right. So folks, I know there's other cleanups to get done. You've been doing everything for everybody else all year long. I'm telling you, this is a time to be selfish. Take time to go plug in, get recharged. And then when you're there, come back. You'll have a whole new second wind for that fall cleanups, those first couple rounds of snow, and you'll be able to retool your business with everything you've learned from all the education that they're putting on. Kris, that's just my thoughts. You got anything that you want to add on that? Anything in particular that strikes a chord? Because I'm just telling you, I get fired up, man.
You hit the business. You hit the business side of it. It is a place to learn, a place to grow your business. It's also a nice social place.
Yeah.
Louisville's a nice town. It doesn't break the bank to come here. It's not Orlando. It's not Vegas. It's not Chicago or Atlanta. It doesn't break the bank to be here. There's good food here. The urban trail is great. We're going to hang out in the new first turn, the new paddock at Churchill Downs, which is an unbelievable facility. Concert at Yum Center, free of charge. It's a fun time. So it's also business. You can do some business. Look, the CEOs are in those booths. Mm-hmm. The presidents are in those booths. Engineers, salespeople, you name it. People that can help you understand the business, understand the product, why the machine operates this way and that way. They bring their folks. And they also fill up those downtown hotel rooms. That's why I keep beating you up.
Yep.
Get on the phone right now and get the hotel you want.
That's right. Yeah, I'll tell you what. By the way, I told him, I don't know if this will make it to the final cut of the show, but a lot of you guys are out there, you're like, who made this? Or who frickin' designed that? What engineer frickety frack? And I'm like, listen, brother, you're complaining to the wrong guy, but I'll introduce you to the actual engineer, the actual CEO. So if you guys do want to kind of...
that guy over there,
man, and the guy in the sport coat who, you can go chew him up instead of me. Don't shoot the messenger, right, Kris? I mean, we're just trying to facilitate the deal here. But if you guys want to high five and build those relationships, I just did a shop tour with a really good individual the other day, and he said they use a lot of one particular brand. And I said, how are you guys getting all this? And he said, you know what? We explained who we were, our situation, where we're going, and they took a chance on us. And frankly, he's like, I don't know if I just walked in onto the street, if I was going to be able to get these same kind of deals. And you hear stuff like that in business and you go, how do I make that happen for me? Folks, I'm telling you, it's getting to meet the different folks in the companies, your distributors and the dealers. Like everybody is in Louisville. I'm telling you, don't miss out. And by the way, the don't miss out part, that's a real thing. My wife and I, we're huge FOMO people. We're event nut people. It's not even like I'm trying to do any one particular thing. I just don't want to miss out. I want to be part of the, man, did you remember back 2 years ago when that big thing happened outdoors and it blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh yeah, we were there. Some of that stuff doesn't make it to YouTube and the podcast, if you guys know what I'm saying. All right. So I'm telling you, don't miss out. It's going to be such a great time. Kris, let me do this really quick, just to give me, maybe there's somebody listening in and they got their phone out, they're taking a couple notes. Do you have any stats and details, like real time? Where can people get their tickets? Where can people get their hotel room? Where are we funneling everybody so they can learn more if they want to go down that rabbit hole?
Our website, EquipExposition.com. You can link to everything from there. Into the housing authority. You can look at the education. You can look at our partners. It's all there. And we've worked hard to update that website, make it real. We have year-round registration now, so you can do it all right there.
I love that.
EquipExposition.com.
EquipExposition.com. By the way, they're on social media, guys. Facebook, Instagram, all the updates, real-time updates, which is really cool. We'll leave links in the description down below. You guys can register with our code or whatever you want to do and save some money there. We super appreciate the support. It really does help everybody that has a code or a referral link, guys. That's those folks that whoever's code you want to use and you want to see more of that person at Equip Expo and get some stage time or some opportunities. That's the best way to do it. I think last year at Energize, I don't know, Kris, there had to be 300 or 400 people in that room, and we had just a star-studded panel. But by the way, that doesn't cost anything extra for Energize, the morning show, and a couple other great things going on. Now, some of it is pay to play, but I'm telling you what, it's nominally priced. $50, $100, $200, you're good to go. So if you do want to come down there and you want to break and you want to just go hang out, grab a bagel, and then learn a little bit more about ponds or lighting like Kris was just alluding to, you can invest into those other educational tracks. How cool is that? So I'm fired up. I know it's going to be here before you know it. I'm grateful to get 20, 30 minutes of your time today, Kris. You are a busy bee. You are the type of individual that you could be anywhere doing anything because you're always forward thinking, trying to move the needle forward for our organization and for our industry. And for that, we're all ever so grateful, brother. Any final thoughts that you want to share with us while we got you? But man, we come fast, folks, over here. We don't mess around. Don't forget to get your ticket. Don't forget to get your hotel. So, Kris, any final thoughts, brother?
I appreciate you having me on. Listening to your, hopefully your audience has picked up something from this to make this a better experience for themselves. We want you share your thoughts with us. You are very candid. You want to make the show better as well for your friends in the business. And so I appreciate that. The staff appreciates that. And I look forward to seeing you. And I'm going to make a note of that anniversary. So appreciate you having me on.
Hey, when you get off your PJ, you can send it over to our place. We'll go over to Italy. We'll call it a spade, right? That's just how it works. All right, folks? Just kidding. There's no PJ. I wish. Okay. Anyway. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. Folks, listen, we appreciate you listening in. We love you. EquipExposition.com. Check out everything that they got going on. Get those hotel rooms. Get your tickets. Plan dinners. I'm telling you what, we make reservations about this time, little inside baseball. I start calling up the restaurants that I want to eat at Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, etc. Because if you try to book that stuff the day of, the week of, the month of, folks, I'm telling you, it's out. One of the big fish, companies are going to take their leadership team. It's 25 people in corporate America. They're going out to that steakhouse. You're not going to get a seat that night, folks. I'm telling you, it's crazy. So start planning ahead. Book out your venues, book out your parties, check out all the after parties that go on. There's always something to do, and we can't wait to see you guys down there. So, Kris, thank you so much for your time, brother. We super appreciate you taking a few minutes to be on the show today.
Thank you.
Exmark mowers are known for their signature cut quality, legendary dependability, and an operator experience unlike any other. Because if something's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Don't miss out on limited time savings going on now at your local dealer.
The Know Your Numbers Profitability and Pricing Calculator is here. Are you tired of uncertain profits? Then get the tools you need to price your lawns correctly. recover overhead, calculate man-hour rates, and budget for success. Exclusively at Launchpreneur Academy, this brand new resource is guaranteed to give you the confidence you need to run a profitable business. Get started now with the Know Your Numbers Profitability and Pricing Calculator at LaunchpreneurAcademy.com.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.